Welcome to the Planet MicroCap Showcase Virtual 2022. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and thank you for joining us. Our next presenting company here at our event is LIXTE Biotechnology Holdings. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is LIXT on NASDAQ. And the team presenting on behalf of LIXTE is Eric Foreman, the COO, as well as Jim Miser, the CMO, Chief Medical Officer. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, Robert. Today, I'll tell you a story about LIXTE Biotechnology Holdings. LIXTE is a small company dedicated to creating better treatments for cancer. I will also tell you about its lead compound, LB100, that promises to enhance the current cancer treatments that are available today. Next slide. These are our forward-looking statements that I expect you to memorize. Next slide. So LIXTE is dedicated to developing new and innovative cancer treatments by identifying targets and vulnerabilities in cancer cells. Next slide. We believe that LIXTE is a good investment opportunity because of its unique compound that is active and very well tolerated in humans. It's first in class, and it has no known competitors in the market. LB100 increases the anti-tumor activity of chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and immunotherapy without increasing toxicity. And this is very important. It's unique in its activity and mechanism. In addition, the potential total market for LB100 is great because it has the potential to treat many cancers. We have an extensive international patent portfolio, and this includes the LB100 itself and its potential clinical applications. We have partnerships with many top medical institutions, including the National Institutes of Health, Moffitt Cancer Center, City of Hope, and we also believe we have an extremely distinguished and experienced management team with individuals with experience at National Institutes of Health, Mayo Clinic, and City of Hope. Next slide. So in nature, we often find clues for how medications will behave and act. And in this case, we found that natural products in certain shellfish toxins impair the enzyme PP2A and have significant anti-PP2A activity. We also found that this activity translates to anti-tumor activity in animal models. This enzyme is a master regulator of normal and cancer cells, and it renders the cancer cells particularly susceptible to this inhibition. Next slide. So the goal of LIXTE was to identify a potent and safe inhibitor of PP2A to mimic this natural phenomenon. The outcome of this effort was the development of LB100 as a novel compound that is a potent inhibitor of the enzyme PP2A, and it also was demonstrated to be active against cancers in humans at non-toxic doses. Next slide. So the initial step is to evaluate this unique anti-cancer drug in preclinical models in animals. And those studies showed that LB100 significantly increases the anti-tumor activity of chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and immunotherapy These are therapies that are used today to treat cancers every day, and it does so without increasing toxicity. And as I mentioned, there's no known competitor to LB100 in the market. Next slide. So why does LB100 work? Well, basic cell activities require switches. These switches turn on and off biochemical pathways in the cells for their function. This is important for cancer because the major drivers of cancer are often acquired defects in these switches. Next slide. So what is LB100's mechanism of action? LB100 inhibits a master off switch, that is PP2A, that regulates many aspects of cell growth, repair of DNA damage, both caused by cancer treatment, but also damage that happens every day. And it also is important for the regulation of T cell immunofunction. Next slide. So the first step in developing a drug after the preclinical development in animals and in the laboratory is to do a phase 1 trial in humans. This is required by the FDA in the development of drugs. And we accomplished this clinical trial and completed the trial at Mayo Clinic, City of Hope, and US Oncology Network. The results of this trial showed that LB100 is well tolerated by cancer patients at doses that are associated with anti-cancer activity. Next slide. So a recent advance in the treatment of cancer, especially in adults, is the development of immunotherapy. We wanted to show as a company that LB100 could improve immunotherapy in humans based on the data that we developed in animals. And that data showed that low doses of LB100 enhance the effectiveness of immunotherapy of many cancer types and by a number of mechanisms. It's interesting, again, of finding in nature is that patients with the PP2A inactivating mutations that result in low PP2A levels have a cancer that responds exceptionally well to immunotherapy. Unfortunately, in nature, only a few cancers have this defect. One example is ovarian clear cell cancers that are have the reduction in the PP2A level, and they have an exceptionally long survival when treated with immunotherapy. Next slide. Building on that experience in nature, we believe that the PP2A reduction in activity by LB100 may be applicable to many cancers, and that the use of PP2A inhibition by LB100 will render these cancers more susceptible to immunotherapy. To that end, we're planning new trials in the very near future to determine if the addition of LB100 to therapy in humans is a general way to enhance immunotherapy. Next slide. So what's the strategy of LIXTE? First, to demonstrate that LB100 markedly enhances chemotherapy and immunotherapy. The second is to focus on aggressive tumors, tumors with a poor prognosis, in which clinical benefit can be detected early after initiating treatment. And third, to evaluate LB100 in a number of cancers, because extensive preclinical data suggests that LB100 is likely to be effective in the treatment of many, if not most, human cancers. Next slide. So our current trials that we are undertaking to enhance chemotherapy and immunotherapy are a number, and I'll highlight several. Because LB100 improves standard anti-cancer therapy in animal models of specifically 2 aggressive diseases, this has led to the development of clinical trials in humans. The first, small cell lung cancer, a very aggressive lung cancer of adults, is currently open and accruing patients. The second trial, one in advanced soft tissue sarcoma. This is a tumor of muscle and the soft tissues of the body. That is a devastating disease with a very poor prognosis, with very little progress over the last 40 years. This protocol with LB100, in addition to the standard chemotherapy, will be opening very soon. Next slide. So what is the potential impact of our current and planned clinical trials? As I mentioned, the outcome for patients with small cell lung cancer when it's in its advanced stage is very poor. And if LB100 can improve the outcome of these patients, this will be a very long-awaited achievement in this very aggressive cancer. Similarly, if the addition of LB100 to standard chemotherapy for advanced soft tissue sarcomas, if it improves the outcome for these patients, this will be a major achievement. And finally, perhaps more importantly, if LB100 proves to enhance significantly the effectiveness of immunotherapy, it will be a landmark advance in cancer treatment for many cancers. Next slide. Yep. I just want to highlight that we really have an outstanding management team led by Dr. Jack Kovach, who is our CEO. He has extensive experience in developing products and protocols, and we're blessed to have him leading a really excellent and very experienced team that can be counted on to deliver this product, LB100, to market. Next slide. We're also very blessed to have a board of directors that has broad experience in science, business, finance, and management, and they are active and participate in the direction of the company. Next slide. So we believe that LB100 is a unique product, and we believe that LIXTE is an excellent opportunity for investment, and that LIXTE will make a significant advance in cancer treatment into the future. LB100 has the potential to enhance current cancer treatments, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, radiotherapy, and can do it with little or no toxicity. Further, LB100 is very likely to be effective in particularly aggressive cancers where new treatments are urgently needed. From an investment point of view and a business point of view, we have an extensive international patent portfolio. And we have partnerships and collaborations with top global medical institutions in Europe and the United States, including the National Institutes of Health, Moffitt Cancer Center, and City of Hope National Medical Center. And finally, we have a distinguished and experienced management team with experience at the National Institutes of Health, Mayo Clinic, and City of Hope National Medical Center. Next slide. I thank you for your attention and am ready to take any questions.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Miser, as well as Eric. A few questions for you guys in the time that we have allowed here today. First is, for both of you, what are you most excited about for the coming year, from what you can tell us in 2023?
Yeah, why don't I take that one, Eric? You were really excited about the opportunity to evaluate LB100 in patients. And we have an ongoing trial that's going to accrue significant amount of data in small cell lung cancer in the next year. And we also will be opening the trial in Spain in the advanced soft tissue sarcomas. So the development of data in humans looking at efficacy is a very exciting opportunity here that we see in 2023.
Very good. Next question for you is, how should investors track the company's progress?
Eric?
So thanks, Jim. The best way is to go to our website, www.lixte.com, and you can also sign up for updates for whenever we release news through press releases and filings such as the 8Ks and the 10Qs, quarterly updates, and you can sign up for email updates for whatever type of release or news you would like on the website.
Absolutely. And another question, I guess I would assume it's probably a similar answer on that from, where can people get more information about the science behind LB100, also on the website as well?
Yes, that's right, Robert. There's a publications page on the website, which is just at the top of the middle tab on the homepage, and it has links to some of the many papers that have been published in medical and scientific journals from around the world, with links to the PDFs, and so those are available for anyone who's interested in digging into some of the research behind the science.
And probably also maybe interested in going to medical school, I'm sure too. So,
Sure.
So, I have a question about competitive landscape. I believe in the presentation you said there is no competitors to LB100. Why? And then what are some of the barriers to entry?
Yeah, I'll take that one. First of all, we have a very extensive patent portfolio that protects the intellectual property. But in addition, it's been a labor of love over the last decade or more to develop this product. And it would take a lot of resources to develop a similar inhibitor of PP2A. So we believe we're in a very competitive place in the market, and we have the drug. It's been synthesized and we're ready for clinical trials. It would take another company to a significant period of time to develop such a competitor to LB100.
Absolutely. All right. And then my final question for you today is, can you provide some additional clarity on whether LB100 will be utilized in conjunction with other cancer treatments, or if it will be a standalone treatment for certain types of cancers, or both? And then, sorry, I guess it was like a two or three part question. And related to that, is LB100 targeting the few cancers you mentioned in your prepared remarks, or could it eventually be more widely used in a variety of cancers?
Thank you for that question, because that actually is the key message. LB100, instead of targeting a specific cancer or a specific target in a cancer, is a compound that enhances other cancer treatments. Based on our very early trials, it does have individual activity by itself against cancers, but its main mechanism is to enhance the chemotherapy agents that we use in cancers, to enhance radiation therapy that we use to treat cancers, and it enhances immunotherapy through additional mechanisms that we use to treat cancer. So that is actually the main message, that we feel that LB100 can significantly enhance the therapies that we use to treat cancers without significantly increasing the toxicity. This is a unique approach to cancer treatment. I think we believe that it's going to make a major difference.
Very good. All right. Well, gentlemen, we're there. Thank you both so much for your presentation today, as well as answering a few questions. And for everyone watching, participating, thank you. And with that, enjoy the rest of your event. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.